Good evening, horror fans and terror stands.
Ooh!
And welcome to a scarefully exciting, a scarefully constructed new episode of Blood from a Stone, a tale of love and dread in RPG. My name is Philip, and I'm the Dreadmaster, and ensconcing me here on this crisp / incredibly warm Domtober night are my wonderful players. Say, good evening, players.
Good evening,
players.
Dan, I want you to know that as soon as you left, I started using ensconcing.
I heard you say it, and I was happy about it.
It's been annoying.
It's everyone really dislikes that I say ensconcing.
Well, you know what? Maybe people just dislike that Philip's right to use that word. I don't know.
Welcome. It's Friday night. You know what that means.
It's Friday night.
Okay, I'm so happy to have you all here. This is session 116 of this game. And you all know what that means.
That you're going to be really nice to us.
We are
and
1
nothing
week.
bad is going to happen.
That we are 1 week from a multiple of 13. There is some controversy. It's already been discussed in chat. This beautiful little dread clock sits at 2. Dan rolled a 13 on his die when I was like, let's have Dan have one character ready to go just in case. He rolled a D13. He rolled a 13 on it.
You understand how many pent up 13s I have from this month waiting to bust loose?
He's getting a 13. Roll a D13. Let's see if you trigger a horror surge as well.
I'm gonna cry.
4. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Great. Okay, so 1 for Dan. Cool. And we're at 3. All right, so there we go. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Book and Dagger, that it shouldn't count if it's pre-stream, but it was close enough to being on stream. And then we said a lot. Then we just made a lot of new words for ways to ejaculate, and now. Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to explain that part on. I wasn't supposed to say that part on stream. I'm sorry. Dan, a new thing has started. This might have even started right before you left, but rather than trying to recap everything that is going on, I recap what we sort of cut to, because we have a lot of major cliffhangers.
Right.
Some involve your characters, such as, Bradley. Bradley was killed by Dracula, but is it possible that Dracula slipped him a little of the Transylvania number 9? Maybe turned him.
Well, look. Well, I was gonna say everything that happened before I left is I've blacked it out. I'm a tabula rasa over here.
Sounds good. Well, and since so many of your characters are dead, that is particularly apt. So there's a lot going on. A lot of characters. We may there is also a possibility, Dan, I will feel mildly bad about this, that I have included on the list of places we could go one place that you just won't have a character. And if we go to that's that, I'm sorry, but that's just a possibility. It kind of makes me laugh. But as of now, we are going to kind of get into this. But before we do, I must read the invocation for chapter 116 of Blood from a Stone, a tale of love and dread in RPG. Look into my eyes. Stare into them. Know me. See me. Behold my true power, that which I hide away from the peasants and the unrighteous and the unclean. You know that you are already under my control. What heroic resistance you now mount, the struggle within you to turn your mind away from me, bah, a fruitless gesture. This is merely the overture, a prelude before the symphony of the night begins. You will do as I command. You have a part to play in the designs of Dracula. You should be honored. Lauren.
What?
Would you ask Zane to roll a d13 for me?
Zane, will you please roll a D13 so I'm not blamed for the horror that shall ensue?
Lord, you're gonna ask him like that?
Yeah, but if I hit a 13, it's basically because you said it.
Exactly.
Will you please?
It's only an 8. We're good.
Only an 8. Only an 8, you say. Dan,
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, get comfortable for a moment.
Philip,
Yeah.
shadow touched.
I don't,
Don't worry about it.
I'm Googling.
no,
Shadow
it
touch.
won't find it on the,
Oh.
That's a little, sure. Okay, that's fine.
All right, cool.
Feels generous, but that's fine. Yeah, it's no, honestly, it's no more than like the arcane training and arcane initiative
Right,
and
yeah.
all those things. It's fine. I'm sure we'll figure it out. So
Down day.
when last we left the so-called friendship team, Stiltcutter, Vela,
Oh god.
Fletch, although I believe at the time he was Lampblack,
Mm-hmm.
and our dear emissary. They had crashed on a mysterious island through a dreadstorm, brought by the sailor for some unknown purpose. After arriving there, they met a castaway named Fletch, who it was revealed could turn himself into an animated thing, a sort of strange, dark, very not funny cartoon called Lampblack, sort of with a very like pulp magazine vibe, fedora, and like swirling ink and charcoal, and looks very rad. The group encountered some of what he calls the Screamers. They fought them off, but then Stiltcutter, Vela, and Emma were sucked down through the sand into some strange facility that had very Lost-like vibes. Lampblack and the sailor went to sort of rescue them from there, but they soon met up with Mr. C.J. Soot, a smoking one who had an odd vibe and seemed to like understand Vela, even though he claimed he was not from Hysteles, but he knew a lot about Hysteles and helped design Hysteles. The group were brought in. They met a doll maker. They were brought into a fortress that was really more like an office building. They met a doll maker. They met a house designer. And they watched as the doll maker crafted a doll. CJ Soot whispered a story to the doll. One of those screamers was brought in captive, was shown the doll, was kissed with some mist. Oh, I should mention that this island has a volcano on it that seems to be the source of all the mist. So that's wild. This screamer then transformed into the character Elowin from the story that CJ Soot told, and then it was sucked out of the room up into the mist to be deposited somewhere in the Dreadlands. This strongly implies that all, well, not all the people we've met, but at least Vela, Stiltcutter, and Emma, all of whom were sort of shown their own dolls, might have once been these strange screamer creatures, a prospect that Lampblack in particular, or I guess if he was Fletch at the time, found very distasteful. In any event, the group were told they needed to go up. Oh, they were also brought down and they were shown another doll. I'm mentioning this because this is actually important for like huge overarching lore stuff. They were brought down to a different room where they saw a small doll that had it was not like the careful dolls that were constructed by the doll maker, had much more exaggerated features, where this like odd blue sort of robe had stringy hair, kind of almost more like a Punch and Judy type doll. The doll maker made some cryptic comments about that. The point is, it was seen. They then were told to go up to the 13th floor. They were separated from the sailor. He was told he had somewhere else to go. But the group, especially off maybe like a little hint from the doll maker, decided they didn't want to go to the 13th floor. That might be dangerous. They stopped on the 9th, triggered a dreadstorm, tried to escape, bravely attempted to not be captured by various gargoyles in a stairwell, but in the end, Stiltcutter was dropped, is on the precipice of death. Lampblack was knocked out in the arms Oh, Lampblack was overcome by then the dreadstorm shattered the glass skylight above them and sent mist down, which knocked out Lampblack, Emma, and Vela a little bit at the end. In fact, the gargoyle that fell had been knocked out by those very mist. That gargoyle recovered. Vela and Emma had gone back in because Stiltcutter fell and were worried about their friend. All three were then carried up unconscious by one on the verge of death by the gargoyle to the 13th floor. And that is where we will begin. My apologies, Dan. I would like for Stiltcutter to, I think it is a D12 for you. Oh no, actually, Stiltcutter, you are like, you're not a part. You are going to be, you're really on the verge of death, so you won't even roll for this part. Vela.
Yes.
Would you please make a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
And for old Vela, and Lampblack, if you would also roll a Constitution saving throw, because you guys are both conveniently, in the D&D 5e space, albeit using different things. Yes, Vela.
It's an 18.
An 18, okay. Let's see how Lampblack does.
Wait, is this symbol? I'm using a D20. Okay, so that's a nat 20, so it's 25.
Understood.
Nice.
So, Lampblack. You come back to consciousness first. You're sort of blinking. Ooh, fancy. Oh, that's
pretty.
an
This is a penny.
Yeah. I've seen those where they've got like
Nice.
So, Lampblack, you come to consciousness first. You find yourself in a black stone room, like the cell that you discovered Vela, Emma, and Stiltcutter in, and that you yourself were once stuck in. This stone is much darker than that stone, but it seems to be of sort of maybe similar stock, and around this chamber there are windows of shadowy glass, and you can see kind of rain drizzling against them, though it does seem a storm has now passed.
And wait, did you say that anyone else was in the room? So Vela, Stiltcutter, and...
Tell you what, Lampblack, as you're in a sort of interesting position, but go ahead and make a perception roll. You're pretty good at these. Perception check for me. This is one of your fortes.
Well, that's a nat 1, so that's a 5.
It's just too dark, and you can't see, and I'll say that means you're so sort of dazed that you're not even sure like what position you're in. It's kind of hard for you to understand even physically what's going on. After a few moments, however, even in your sort of like extremely actually, I'll take that back. For a few moments, you kind of sense nothing. Then you do have a sense of someone moving around, of a voice. You're kind of almost straining to understand it as you're kind of like trying to overcome that horrible sensation of the mist kind of in your throat that enervates you so greatly. After a few moments, however, even at your sort of lowered level, the voice becomes a little bit clearer and says, "I think that one of them has awoken." How fascinating. You cannot see who's talking to you, but Lampblack, at this time, you are beginning to realize that there are bands around your hand and feet, and you seem to be against a board of some kind with like very classic, like Frankenstein lab with, you guys all seem to be stuck in a place. And as you sort of look around, you can almost see at the even with a 5 perception roll off in that one, I'll say that you can kind of pick up the idea of like a slumping, like gator-faced jaw that is protruding. You have a sense that maybe he's like just at, like, you guys are positioned so you can't quite see one another without some straining, but you do think Stiltcutter is hanging from a similar device as you.
What is this?
You have reached the 13th floor. You were meant to come of your own accord, but it seemed you were making a run for it, which, to be honest, I cannot blame you for. Not even a little bit. Your name, I believe, is Fletch? Is that correct? Fletcher.
Lamp Black.
Lamp Black, this is a new persona you have given yourself, which is fascinating. Your friends here are Stiltcutter, who is just hanging on by a thread. Any lesser being, less robust entity would surely be dead. He is... well, there's a reason that alligators have been apex predators for so many millions of years. And... oh, another begins to stir. At this point, Vela, you're kind of like shaking some cobwebs free. It appears another is waking up. You are Vela, is that right? A mannequin.
Yeah, how'd you know?
Oh, well. We know a good deal about all of you. And this young lady here, Emissary, still not... Still sleeping, I suppose. Ooh. Oh dear. Looks like she might have bumped her head on the way here. Well, welcome to the 13th floor. This is the floor of the Dreadmasters.
Would Vela be familiar with that term?
The I should have said Dreadlords. I'm sorry, I just read my own name. Very sorry.
But
people are getting so excited for like some serious meta nonsense. I do apologize. The Dreadlords, Jesus Christ. Vela. That is a term that is unlikely to be super familiar to you. However, let's go ahead and roll an Arcana roll.
You did work at the Bad Dragon.
You did work at the Bad Dragon, and I will say Hysteles is a place where Dreadlords were maybe discussed more than they are in other places. Did you roll a 13? You beautiful. Hey, Lauren, I just want to tell you something.
The only time you compliment me, Philip, is when I roll a 13.
You are so beautiful. Your hair looks great. You have amazing feet. Please roll another 13, guys. That's a reference to when Lauren was really showing us her feet earlier.
It just makes this sound like...
Yeah, Lauren, it was real cool. It was just Lauren showing her feet to a bunch of guys all going, ooh, yeah, and one of them's her husband.
That's not what happened.
I wasn't enjoying it. I was pointing out her little toe.
Guys,
that's one of those little...
stop liking her feet. Look at her toe.
It's an 8.
Okay, cool. So no dread.
I have a weird little toe, but a great personality.
I'm going to tell you guys, if horror surges right now, you're just all dead because you're just restrained, and monsters will just kill you.
Okay.
Well, I was going to ask, would Lamp Black know anything from his work at the factory?
So, and Vela, that means you rolled a 13. You don't know. Lamp Black,
okay.
You actually don't need to roll. You certainly are. You know the idea of a Dreadlord. They're the ones who let you in and out of certain places to make deliveries. All part of the deal.
So the Dreadlords stay here? What is this?
Oh no, this is not where they stay. This is where they're sort of, conceived of. My friend. Where their nature is determined. But, well, things get tricky, you see. The Dreadlords are liable to change. Change who's in control. But the realms don't change with them necessarily, so some of the places, some of the Dreadlands, have what we'd call their original settings. Merkshire, Paradise, Ignador. Others, such as Hysteles, which I think...
That's where I'm from.
Yes, and I believe that was also Mr. Lamp Black's beat. Hysteles has seen many different Dreadlords of late. There was the Lute. Then there was Vela the Vamp. And, Violet the Vamp. Sorry, I'm reading
wait
too
a
much.
minute.
Violet the Vamp. You know Violet the Vamp. She was performing
I do.
the night you died. And now, of course, Dahlia the Heartless. So, I've had nothing to do with Dahlia. But she is like all of you. And that is the reason that I wanted to see you.
Who are you?
You may call me... You're from Heistley's, are you not? No, you're from the factory. Well, why don't you call me, research and development? Is that a term perhaps you'll understand?
That's not a name.
No, it is not. So, you hear footsteps kind of walking behind you. This voice says, "You all have made it to a place you weren't supposed to get to. Congratulations. And it appears the Dollmaker may have shown you a little more than I would have wanted to do before speaking to you myself. So you know something of your nature."
We're screamers.
Screamers? Oh, what an interesting term. They do make a rather unpleasant noise, don't they? And I suppose, by many estimations, even after transformation, they continue to do so. Oh, look, your big friend is beginning to stir. Stiltcutter. At this point, I'm gonna say that you're gonna be awake enough to like talk a little bit, but you feel terrible. And you are, none of you can see one another, but basically, Vela and Lampblack are like bolted into this. Stiltcutter is like triple bolted at tail, feet, legs and such. But because you're on the 13th floor, they're not taking any chances. So Stiltcutter, but you can speak. Hello there, my gator-faced friend. Are you feeling all right?
By Gargoyle, where he go?
Oh.
Are you okay?
Stone lady, alive. Good.
Well, I mean, a poly blend with
Too complicated.
some plaster. Yeah. But I'm so glad you're okay. I thought you were done for.
You safe. Death worth.
That's the sweetest thing that anyone's ever said to me.
Don't mention still alive. So all good.
Yes, you
Okay.
are still alive, which is interesting. You're all still alive. I have a question for you all on that point. You cannot leave here knowing what you know. Too many variables. This would upset too much. If you would like, I could obliviate you in a painless, almost pleasant fashion, an eternal dream. Especially those of you who are friends, you would see one another sit together in stillness. Have that sensation for eternity. Or, if you do not wish to face oblivion, I'm curious what could be done. The Dahlia situation is illuminating. We thought that much more powerful things were the only ways to craft true dreadlords, but when one such as you all has done it, my point is this. The dreadlords are about to be under threat. A powerful entity stalks the land. A monster out of nightmare, out of story. My projections show most of the Dreadlords will not be able to withstand the fury of Dracula, which means we may have some openings soon. If any of you, rather than death, would like to be kept alive until such a time might arise when you could potentially be installed as a Dreadlord under experimental circumstances, tell me now. Otherwise, I shall cast you back to the mist with a pleasant dream and a goodbye. These are your choices.
Well, I'm gonna be still. I mean, and she'll gesture to emissary. She loves being still, but that's just not something that's in my wheelhouse. In spite of being a mannequin, you'd think that I love stillness, but I don't want to leave my friends, and also I don't want to just sit there staring at them. Is there a way that we can be kept alive and stay with our friends?
Well, I could keep you here until such time as you're used. You could be together, not fully dead yet, but if I do not send you to oblivion now, understand that I can use you to whatever purpose I may need later.
I want off this island.
You want off this island, so you're taking my deal.
What do I have to do specifically?
Specifically, for now, relax. Sit here with your friends. I'm going to put you into a certain kind of half sleep. You'll be aware, you can converse, but time will pass differently for you. When I have need of you, I will peer into your soul. I will find the truth of who you are, and I will give you more power than you can possibly dream of, and send you to a realm that will do exactly as you say.
You send us to fight.
I send you to do whatever you want.
But you send us to danger.
There will be danger. And more than that, there will be fear, and there will be suffering. Lampblack has accepted my terms. Mr. Stiltcutter, you are in very, very bad shape. If I do nothing, you're going to expire most painfully. So for you, this choice is much grander. I can either give you a pleasant, infinite dream of swimming through the greatest marsh in the strongest body one of your kind has ever known, perhaps even with your friends riding on your back, or I can heal you and keep you for this same purpose that Lampblack has accepted.
Death no scare, crocodile.
Death.
But I'm going to say this is the first time Stiltcutter has ever called Vela and Emma by their names. Vela, Emma, weak. Keep them safe. I do their share.
Oh, I see.
Stiltcutter. Okay to die for friends.
I see what you're saying. So you don't want power?
Too complicated. Just one bite.
You know, to be perfectly honest, I suppose that does make this a bit... That does make you not the best candidate for this. Very well, Stiltcutter, I'm going to give you that which none of your kind has ever received. A peaceful death and a pleasant oblivion. And with that, you guys hear like a Stiltcutter. If you want to say one last thing to Vela and Emma, you can.
Oh, I'm dying? I was going to accept.
Oh!
Oh, wait, I'm dying.
Stiltcutter. Wait a minute. The idea that I kill Stiltcutter because I and this guy misunderstood is actually perfect. However, Stiltcutter here. So I'm gonna say this. This is how he does it. Stiltcutter, I would like for you to roll. Oh God, this is a big deal. Roll a d6. You're gonna make an intuition roll. He's not so good at these. Roll a d6.
5.
Okay, 5. With a 5, as he says this, you suddenly realize he's about to kill you. So if you'd like to say, no, deal.
No.
Yeah.
No. I do deal. I do deal. I accept power.
Oh.
And do job.
Well,
Let
all
Bella
right.
Emma go. Let Bella Emma be safe.
Based on what you said, I really... I'm sorry. Vela, Lampblack, Emma, she's still... Is it just me, or did it really sound like he was saying he wanted to die?
Well, you said it wasn't dying. You said it was dreaming.
Well, yes, but what else is death? Lampblack, help me out here. It sounded like he was saying he wasn't taking the deal, right? Am I crazy?
Lampblack just doesn't respond to him. He's full of himself.
Fascinating. Vela, what about you, my dear? A mannequin dreadlord is most intriguing. Most intriguing indeed. I know you have felt powerless, but what I could give you is more power than you've ever dreamt of, and a realm to rule as you see fit.
She can't see Stiltcutter, right?
Make a perception roll.
Oh.
Night vision.
14.
Yeah, Stiltcutter, he's lost a lot of blood. It's
16.
hilarious.
A 16?
Yeah.
You do see his, like, you can see his, like, you know, long, like, the very tip, sorry, I'm doing this wrong. He's, like, the very tip of his mouth talking, you know, like, in the corner of your eye.
Okay, well, she'll just say, Stiltcutter, I want to thank you for everything that you've done and every kindness you've given me, and I think that you'll be amazing wherever you end up. And I hope that you're happy there, but I'm just not the kind of gal who can be that kind of a leader. I wasn't cut out for that. I wasn't made for that, and I just wish you the best, okay? But I'm gonna go to sleep because I think that's the best thing that I can do. But I'll be thinking about you, okay? And if you ever decide to go to sleep, you can always come find me in the mist or wherever we go.
I find you. Promise.
Just be good, okay?
Be safe. Till I get you.
Okay.
How touching. Vela. The room melts away. And all that you see is just a bright hastily street, but it's sunny. And you're sort of just sitting in a window display wearing the prettiest dress. And everyone outside has smiles on their faces. And you can see that Stiltcutter's out there. He's buying a bunch of cigarettes. And Emma's out there too, and she's just looking up at you, loving it so much. And your favorite song is playing over the radio. And that is your eternity. For the others in the room, there is no slumping in Vela. She simply grows silent and inert. A thing. I'm not going to make this choice for Emma. But for Lampblack you soon hear a voice that you didn't even know was in this room, or maybe she just came in, as you hear a voice saying, I've brought them up, and he says, we won't need the mannequin. Oh, understand. Well, here you go. And he sort of says, perfect, thank you. She says, what about this lass over here, Emma? He says, we'll let her decide later. She's still sleeping. There's one thing we have is time. Wait, where is Stiltcutter's doll? I don't know. I couldn't find it. It's gone. Well, without his doll, we can't keep him in stasis, can we? No, I suppose we can. Did he accept your deal? He did. Although, I nearly killed him. Because I really didn't understand he was accepting it. Oh, that sounds about right. Well, I guess he got it. Oh, he looks awful anyway. Indeed. All right, Stiltcutter. I'm going to put you into stasis now. Are you ready?
Can I take Mannequin with me?
Into stasis, yes, in fact. All right. Enjoy this stasis, and when the time comes, you'll be able to fight again. Don't you worry. Oh, poor dear. And with that...
He's just going to stare at you guys.
Yeah, Stiltcutter's like, you probably do have a little more movement. As you sort of look over, you do see Vela sitting there and Lampblack and kind of Emma. And basically, as he... Something happens, and then Stiltcutter, you... suddenly find yourself standing on a strange street. You're at a place, and there's all these cigarettes right there for you. And over on one side, you can see Vela, your dear friend Vela, in the window, and Emma standing right outside of it. And so you have all these cigarettes, and even though you're still, you feel strong, and it smells good. And you can just be really still here.
Stiltcutter's not going to indulge in the cigarettes. He's feeling very determined.
Well, yeah, and he couldn't even. He is static.
No, just
He's still, because that is his oblivion. Because that is his eternity. Because as Stiltcutter falls dead, she says, "Oh, so he accepted, but we didn't have his doll, so we couldn't store him. I'm sorry. So he's dead too then." And he's like, "Yes, precisely." That. So it goes. As he began to indicate to me, he probably was not a very good.
That's hilarious.
Very good target for it. Yes, but even so, I'm worried about him not having his doll. I don't know where it could have gone. I'd like to have it just for the record. Yes, Vela?
Does Vela, in her frozen state, see him?
You see him, yeah, absolutely. But you can't do anything. It's just you're in this tableau forever.
It's sad.
I know, but
it's pleasant.
Can't she be happy that she sees him there?
You were the first two characters in the history of this game who can be happy in death. Everyone else is tormented. Okay. Anyone else who's died is just in agony. You two, you made it to the 13th floor, so he'll send you out into that.
We did it. We did it, Lord.
Well then, Mr. Lampblack. Prepare yourself. This might feel very strange. Lampblack, suddenly you feel this splitting, pounding headache raking through your psyche and brain. And it's just the most intense feeling you've ever experienced. And then suddenly, you feel a stillness, your own. But this one is different, because you're not in your body and you're not looking around a pleasant place. You're still in this room, but you're seeing everything from this kind of strange, wide, fisheye lens looking up. And then a hand picks you up and you see the face of the doll maker, but she's huge. And she's risking and saying, "Oh, I think he's in there. We've never tried this for our storage. I think it worked. If you're in there, give me a little smile."
Lampblack tries to respond in any way possible.
If you try to smile, you can. You also do feel for what you can. You are not in a Lampblack doll. You're in your original Fletch doll.
He tries to smile.
Oh, look, I can see the wee stirring up corners. Very well, so, we'll store them in a special doll's house here for your purposes whenever, and we can sort of restore them to a. Obviously, they wouldn't have that form if they become what you're doing. In fact, I have to say, I dare say that's why part of why Dahlia worked out the way she did, because she wasn't in her original body. She was in a robotic chassis. Precisely. Very interesting. Well, so far, a most interesting experiment underway. I do so hope our patron approves. Yes. Thank you, Dollmaker. And with that, goodbye, Vela, goodbye, Stiltcutter. Poor the idea that Stiltcutter was like, do this, and he's like, okay, I'll kill you. And Stiltcutter's like, no, don't kill me. Then he's like, oh, we don't have a doll for him. I'm just gonna kill him. Yeah, sure, buddy, whatever you want. Oh, dear. So.
Technicalities, man.
Shouldn't have ate that doll. Or should have spit it up sooner.
Yeah, or just... oh, never mind. He was in his own stomach. Great, well, it's covered in blood, but fair enough. We're gonna move on now. Dan, I need you to roll a d13 for me, buddy.
No.
Maybe would I ever love
But
to.
actually, before you do, I have to reassign the values that we just had, because we're not... In this case, we will not stay here. Okay, cool. Yeah, perfect. Roll it.
Well, fuck.
12?
Yeah.
12's good. 12's good.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna roll something myself. Yeah. 12's great. Okay, Dan, we are gonna need a, No, we won't. Dan, permit me. Moses, I'm sorry, you'll also be out of this for a moment.
Okay.
We'll try to get in. Again, tonight is set up for next week, so we're probably trying to do 3 little vignettes
scared.
tonight. In the lands of Ignador. Barbie Fletch, I love it. Zane, if you could change your name to Alvin. We are missing Live tonight, sadly. And Lauren, if you could please, this will be your first time portraying Elowin.
Oh, right.
Actually, wait, how fast is it to build these characters? Hold on. Let me look at how complex
Do
this
it, baby.
is.
Do it.
I mean, we built mine in like a minute.
Yeah, no, it's more fun this way. It's more fun this way. Okay. I'm going to copy
I'm about to get a character.
Yeah, you're about to get a character. It's gonna be a very simple character.
Let's go.
And Dan, you're gonna get a character too.
Will this character be nice or a
Honestly,
dick?
Philip, though, I do think it would be hilarious if I'm
Nice.
gone for a month on my
Huh?
first
Won't be nice.
Friday. I just don't do shit.
I kind
I
of
would
think
love
that
that.
would be hilarious.
I
All
think
right.
it'd be funny.
Welcome to all right, so Dan, you have a new character here. Let's to sort of speed this along, I am going to have Dan and Stiltcutter, or rather Dan and Moses. I just read.
Rip.
I just see
R.I.P.
words and read them. That's all I do. I'm gonna say
My boy.
that Dan and perfect. We do this one on the fly. I love it. Okay, great. You two gentlemen are going to be what we call there's a term for this in this realm. It's actually lesser arcana or minor arcana. So you are just going to be kind of like footmen, like men at arms, soldier types in the surface of Elowin. You are humans in the land of Eknador, and in this land, you both use the system called the Deck of Dread. You both have 13 talent points that you may spend, and Moses, this will sort of be weird, so just roll with me on this, but you both have 13 talent points to spend on your various abilities, which you'll see up there under the suits, under physicality, vitality, intellect, and will. This is the first time we're using this system. We are using our first card-based system. And this is a tricky thing to do online, so I'm going to need you guys to jot this down, Elowin, Dan, and Moses. Or Dan, in your case, you can just find the requisite cards. You are all about to be dealt your hand. The way the Deck of Dreads system works is you want a high card. The cards go with aces for 1, 2 through 10 are face value, jacks are 11, kings are 12, and the queen is the 13. If you ever play or draw a queen, the dread clock advances as if it were a sort of a normal thing. At the beginning of this, you're each being dealt a hand of 5 cards, which I'm now going to deal out to you all and say them sort of face up. Lauren, you have the Queen of Spades. If that gets discarded, automatic Horror Surge. Dan, your first card is the 8 of Hearts. Moses, your first card is the 3 of Clubs. Lauren, your second card is the 8 of Spades. And you want to write these down because you can use these rather than drawing. Drawing's random, but you can be like, I'll just go for an 8.
I have the heart of the cards.
Perfect. Dan, you are the 7 of Clubs. Moses is grabbing a thing. Moses is the Jack of Spades. I'll review these for later. Lauren, 4 of Clubs. Dan, Jack of Clubs. Moses, 5 of Clubs.
This is my second one?
No, your second one is the, so far you have 3 of Clubs, Jack of Spades, 5 of Clubs.
Yeah, okay.
Lauren, card number 4 is the 4 of Spades. Dan, card number 4 is the 7 of Spades. You got 2 sevens, baby.
Pair.
Moses, you have the 9 of Clubs. It's your 4th card.
I'm scared.
Clubs.
Lauren, your last card is the Jack of Diamonds. Dan, your last card is the Ace of Diamonds, a 1. I'm sorry, in this game, aces are the lowest. Moses, your final card is the Jack of Hearts. I'm going to now hold up each of your hands just so you may sort of see them, take mental or physical snapshots or whatever you want to do.
I got my cards, baby.
I got them written down.
So Lauren, that's you. There are no jokers in the deck. It is a deck of 52 cards because that is 4 times 13. Dan, that's what we have for you.
Got it.
Beautiful. Moses, for you, we have these cards here.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it.
If you ever get another card, you have to discard a card. Lauren, you're the only one holding a queen, and queens are also the hot. Like a queen is you might at some point be like, I have to play this queen to succeed at this, but it's rough. Otherwise, what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll. You're gonna draw just whatever's on top. Boom. In addition to this, you have a strong suit, and when you if you ever are doing something that uses the corresponding suit. So basically, if you're doing something with physicality and you draw or play a spade, you get to replace the card in your hand, keeping your option open. If you do vitality, it's hearts, intellect is diamonds, will is clubs. Okay?
Okay.
So, and I know this is, guys, the first time we've ever played this, first time I've ever done it. We'll see how this works. Sometimes, however, you know that the only way to succeed is if you have the right suit. That is why you can actually spend your power, which you'll see under general uses for power under the quick rules there on your character sheet, where you can change the suit of the card you're holding to be the strong suit. You have other options for your power, and everybody, thank you for indulging us in this rules primer for everyone here today. You can spend 1 power to prevent a point of damage, like in all our systems. 3 power, discard the card you've played or drawn, and draw another. So if you don't like what you do, you spend 3 power, redraw. If you draw a queen and don't like it, you'll discard that queen, so careful. 4 power allows you to trade a card from your hand into the hand of another player. Card 5 is discard the card you've drawn or played, but change it to the same one of the suit of your choice. That has to still be in the deck. So, like, if one of you wanted to change so say, Dan, you wanted to change your Jack to a Jack of Diamonds, you couldn't because Lauren has the Jack of Diamonds. The reason I'm not letting you all just draw of your own stuff is this is the deck. If this deck ever goes out, you discard all your cards and we redeal. So there's the danger. In addition, you can also spend 5 precious power to draw a second card to an attempt.
How do we replenish power?
1 per hour of in-game time. Just like all our others. Yeah, just like it's this power mechanic the same as the others.
Okay.
So, Elowin, You are a more powerful character. You have 26 talent points that you may put. If you look at your sort of stats there, you can put basically like bonuses into the talents. You can't go higher than 5 in any talent, but if you want to say like before you make an athletics roll and you say my character should be really good at athletics, I'm going to put some things in there. That's a constant modifier, so you add whatever you have there to whatever you draw.
Like what we do in
like what we do in all the other systems. You have 26, they both only have 13 because they are sort of minor arcana. Gentlemen, do we have names for your sort of medieval footman types? This is a sort of dark fantasy setting.
Spellington.
Spellington?
Yeah, I'll change it right now.
Love it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Spellington. Moses, any idea for a fantasy name? I can also roll on a generator if you don't have one handy.
Roll me a generator.
Okay. Roll a d10. Roll your
Jeez,
d10 if you have one. Actually. But I'll also click this.
Right here. 9.
Ah. Urrek.
Urrek. Okay. I can live with that.
We have Urrek and Spellington and Elowin. Fantasy. So, ladies and gentlemen, lady and gentlemen, we are moving to the realm of Ignador. We find ourselves looking at the baleful tower of Irvogazity, a lich who is swole because he just takes undead bodies that are really ripped and uses those and keeps them massive with magic, even though he's deeply dehydrated. The Tower of Irvogazity has been a buzz of late, ever since the arrival of one Alvin Theodore, a stone golem, in whom Irvogazity believes he may be able to, or with whom Irvogazity believes he may be able to, manipulate the fates in his favor. Alvin Theodore wished freedom from this shell, which Irvogazity can provide for him through an undead body, an undead rebirth, getting him out of the stone, giving him a new opportunity to live his dreams. But what really intrigues Irvogazity about this plan is that he could do so at the expense of the Lich Queen. Because the Lich Queen loves Irvogazity, who loves Shtasuth, who loves the Lich Queen, but Irvogazity hates the Lich Queen, who hates Shtasuth, who hates Irvogazity. No exit. Look it up. So, with that, up to the tower, Elowin came on a mission held in her heart. Walking behind her are two sort of men-at-arms servants, worn swords, Spellington. Oh, and Urrek. Oh, okay, fair enough. Like it.
I actually took notes about this, by the way.
Perfect.
For the first time ever.
I love it. Urrek, I like that.
Nothing gets boring going like a love triangle.
What?
Taking notes about the love triangle. That's why.
No, she took notes about her character who.
Oh, okay.
Dan, just for the fun of it, this is the character who was created by the doll maker as an example of how stuff actually worked.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, Elowin, who didn't
Very much is not in love with anyone.
Elowin didn't exist. Elowin didn't exist until a day ago. And neither, for that matter, did Urrek and Spellington. I guess they decided, she needs some help. They tossed out 2 more. But, as you guys walk up to this tower, there is an elven woman standing at the door. Eloin, you know the words written upon this tower are in sort of one of the ancient Fantese tongues of the undead. You know that these words are enter freely and perish likewise. An elven woman stands before, and to you in the elvish tongue, she will say, "Greetings, sister. What brings you to a tower of death?"
Greetings. I'm seeking a death.
Ah, your own.
Or rather, answers
I see.
to a death.
You are welcome to enter. The great lord Iavogazati is intrigued by a great many possibilities. I am Meski Kixix, which is a traditional elvish name, so you totally know it, and it sounds like Nora. It's like, it's not your kind of elf, but it's like, you're like, got it. Oh, she's one of those elves. No problem.
Right. I greet you with honors.
However, as you stare at Meski Kixix, and she says, "And your men, their names, I must enter them into my book."
Can I... What's the vibe on this chick?
If you'd like to roll a detect vibe, you may. Before you do so, would you like to put any of your points in, or draw rather, would you like to put any of your points into your detect vibe?
I would like to... This is a confusing system, and I hate you.
Okay, so here's your options. You can either use
So
one
I
of these
have them
cards.
written down.
Okay. But you can, I'm just holding them up so you can see them at the same time. You can either say, I play my jack, and it's a great thing, and, or if you have a club, if you play your 4 of clubs, you'll get to replace a thing. So you could say, I'm going to do that.
Well, I don't have... Well,
Or...
Diamond... Because
Or you can let fate decide and just draw a card. That's like the equivalent of rolling. And whatever you roll, before you roll or say you're spending one of these cards, you can decide if you want to put permanently any of your points into the ability to detect vibe, if that's something you think Eloin is good at. Everyone, please bear with us. This is a brand new system for our players.
I would like to...
And for me, because I just made it.
I would like to put... What's the maximum amount
5.
of points that we
can't have more than 5 in any one thing.
I would like to put 3 into analyze.
Well, you're doing a detect vibe roll.
Do we have it?
Yeah, it's under will.
That's already under will. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
I will add 2 to that.
2 to detect vibe. Are you playing one of your cards or are you drawing?
So I play a card and I lose it, but I get another one.
Only if you play something of the same suit. So if you play a club, you replace with a club. Or if I draw a club, congratulations, you get to draw a card, then you can get rid of one of your cards.
But I can roll still?
No, you can draw. You never roll in this. It's only draws of a deck of cards.
Okay, you know what?
I'll try not to murder you on the first one. So
I'm gonna play my 4 of clubs.
Play your 4 of clubs. Great. You play your 4 of clubs. Goes to the discard. 1 card in the discard. 51 to go. However, because you've just played a club, you get a new card in your hand, which is the 6 of hearts.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Now, because you've played a 4 of clubs and you have a 2 in detect vibe, the total is a 6. So basically, in this game, the absolute maximum you could have would be an 18, because that would be if you have 5 in something and you play a 13. The highest you could ever do is 18.
Okay.
Technically, you could do more because then you could spend 5 extra power and put cards on top of it.
Okay.
But so that's like absurd how high that would be. You have a 6, which in this is a substandard result, and I will say that it is not like a complete failure, but you have the sense from her reaction that, or this is a detect 5. She is hard to read. She seems very officious. You don't sense immediate threat, but you don't know how malevolent her desire for their names are. Meanwhile, she's turning first to you, Urrek, and saying, "What is your name?"
Urrek fixes his posture, hands behind his back. Urrek.
Very good, Urrek.
The footman.
Urrek, it is good to know you, Urrek. You seem a strong enough individual. What about you, friend? She turns to Spellington.
I am Spellington.
I'm going to move Spellington over to the far side, by the way, to the more active side of things, from the bottom, and call him Spellington. She hears Spellington talk, and I think she knows all she needs to know about Spellington.
And
Wonderful.
why do you require their names?
Why do I require the names? Oh,
Yes.
for the record, my dear. So, come, sister. If you are entering here, the court of Ivogazity, you can join our other guests. Do you have room for another? I want Elowin, Spellington, and Urrek to all turn around. And as they look back, you all notice that there is this incredibly sort of like strong, handsome looking man. Dan, did you spend all your 13 points?
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know, you can do it as you play. You don't have to make the decisions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
if you want to go to 0 back for everything, you can do it. I've been doing this in a lot of systems now, and I think it's working well, where I'm letting it's kind of like Fate, where you can make the decision as you go. You don't have to commit.
Okay.
But if you want to commit. And then you can say, ladies, am I afraid of commitment? Let's just say that when I play Philip's new systems, I put all my points in right away, because I know what I want.
Yeah.
And I put them all in family. Okay, so...
Hey.
I put them all in listening. I put them all in love language.
Wow.
Pick one.
I put them all in enneagrams.
All right. So, as you sort of see behind you, there is this very like aristocratic man. He has like a cape, black. He has a red sort of pendant with a gold, strange kind of cross of some kind. He seems otherworldly, powerful, but he's sort of come here, and he says, "It appears, from what I overheard, forgive me, miss, that I may come here for a similar purpose. I wish to ask the Lich Ivogazity for assistance with a matter most unnatural when it comes to death." And she will sort of look at him and say, "Ah, yes, Lord Vampire, you are most welcome indeed. May I tell, what is your name?" "I am Count Dracula." "Of course, may I tell, Lord Ivogazity, what it is you're trying to do? Are you trying to gain spellcasting powers of a lich while retaining your vampiric nature? Perhaps trying to create zombie thralls, though through vampirism, without ever giving them the possibility of..." And he says, "Such things are not what I am trying to do at this time. Believe it or not, I wish to restore the dead to life." "Oh, to true life. Yes. There is a twin boy who is sad his brother is missing. I have come here to appease him."
I must ask, in
Yes.
spite of this intrusion, may we enter?
"Oh, yes, I'm just Dracula, just writing that down. Yes, of course. My name is
Thank
Mesky Kick6. Mesky Kick6.
Thank you, Mesky Kick6.
I like your name. It is totally normal and doesn't seem like it was created by someone rolling a ring with many letters on it. May I enter?" "We do not fear you, Lord Vampire. Enter freely and of your own will. All of you, come." She kind of nods. A gate goes up and you guys can all enter the tower. Elowin, Urrek, Spellington.
Elwyn, though, will say, wait, Messy Kick6?
Mesky Kick6. MESQUIKIXIX. It's so easy. Mesky
How
Kick6.
simple.
I'm just gonna put it in.
Is that one name or two names?
It's like this, guys. Listen, I'm putting it into all the different chats.
That's
Mesky.
that's too many vowels.
Nah,
I
it's the right
appreciate
number. It's the right number of vowels and the right number of X's and Q's. Let me tell you that. Because,
gosh.
guys, 30% of that name is X's and Q's.
Elwyn will say, I thank you for your service, Mexi Quick Six. Kick Six? She says it correctly.
I understand. She'll say, of course. Enter freely and perish
she'll-
likewise.
Thank you.
So basically,
She'll
Elwyn,
gesture to
Urrek, Spellington, and the Count Dracula are led through the halls. As they go, just to get you guys into it, Urrek, I need one of Elwyn's men-at-arms. You guys can decide between you who does what. I need one of you to make a listen roll and one to do a look roll as you guys are paying, or not roll, draw. Sorry, I keep saying roll. As you guys are paying attention. So remember, you can simply use the cards you have. You can draw for the fun of it and hope you get something great, or you can, and before or after doing that, you can stick some points in. This is a heart situation. So if you play a heart, so Dan, like if you play your 8 of hearts, you'll get a card back.
Right.
And Moses, if you play
Well,
your
question.
Jack of hearts, you'll get a card back. Yes.
If we draw,
Mhm.
then we pick a card from our hand to discard, or the card that we draw gets discarded.
The card that is used is discarded. But if
Okay.
you draw a heart, then the heart you draw is discarded, but now you're also getting another card since you drew a heart to replace.
Heart of the cards, I'll play my 8 of hearts.
8 of hearts.
I'll also play my Jack of Hearts.
All right, so you guys both draw stuff. Dan, your new card is the King of Spades,
Four.
the highest safe card there is. When it comes to physicality, of course, a king of clubs would be better for sort of stuff like that. And Moses, you're getting a 6 of spades.
Yeah, okay.
Both of you, and neither of you put any points into that. However, I will say an 8 for you, Spellington. Were you doing look or listened?
Look, I don't listen.
Spellington. Spellington looks around.
Obviously.
You
Actually,
notice there seems to be a lot more. There are a lot of skeletons, like standing almost. You know how like the B1 droids are like folded up in Clone Wars, like the standard battle droids, how they're like folded up on racks. You see a lot of skeletons like within various like corridors and stuff, like massed in like just like nestled into each other in like so many of them, like a conspicuous number. Spellington,
Plenty of raw materials.
plenty of raw material, but they seem to all be like you suspect they are, and occasionally you'll see one like step out and another one will move. They're like Tetrising themselves in. Urrek will get to yours in a second. Spellington, I now want you to roll and analyze to see what you think that means.
I'll play my ace of diamonds. Heart of the cards.
Now you do know that an ace is a
Yu-Gi-Oh.
1 in this system.
Yes.
Okay, Spellington, you have no idea what that means, but you just got a king of clubs.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
So,
Is he announcing any of this out loud?
Spellington, do you say what you've seen to your lady?
My lady, look at these bones.
I appreciate all of your obvious observations, Sir Spellington. However, I would like to remind you that we are seeking a man of stone.
You're right. So he's none of these.
No, these are of bone. So,
Yes,
and
my
she'll,
lady.
she'll rest her hands on his shoulder
My
and
lady, I
say,
do understand the difference.
yes, and I understand you are doing the best that you can, and I appreciate your help.
I live to serve, my lady.
Thank you.
Urrek, in the meantime, you have been listening. You have
Yes.
played a Jack of Hearts. You didn't put any of your points in it ahead of time. That's good. However, Urrek, with a Jack, that's an 11. That's like Jack's, Jack, King, Queen. That's where you're up to. As you listen, you hear many whispers. And you also are, because you just did this, you're also hearing what they said. So Urrek, you hear people whispering, wondering if these people are, it's like people, like undead creatures going, who are these new arrivals? Ooh, I wonder if they're connected to the stone golem. So you are hearing speech of a stone golem. I'd like you to also make, I'd like you to also make an analyze roll. So that's diamonds. You don't have any diamonds, so you can either use one of these just to get like you could use like a 9 or a jack to get like a decent answer, or you could add points to analyze and use a lower card, or you can draw. We haven't had anyone draw yet.
I'll use my 9 of... If I use my 9 of clubs to just kind of boost it.
You can use your 9 of clubs. There's 2 ways you could boost it. One, you could put some of your 13 points into analyze, and then on all subsequent analyze draws, you'll have a bonus. So like whatever you add, if you put 2 in there, you'd have an 11, not a 9. Or you could spend 5 of your power, and I know this is complicated. New system. I think this will actually, you guys will pick this up pretty quick.
Yeah,
or you can spend some of your power to turn this into a 9 of diamonds, provided we haven't drawn one yet. Which I don't believe we have.
No.
Nope.
You know what? I am going to draw.
Draw. I love it. I love it. I hope you draw a diamond.
They don't call me Moses for nothing.
9 of diamonds. Well done. In addition, you get to get rid of one of these cards. I would assume you'd get rid of the 3 of the lowest.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you'll get rid of the 3, so we'll discard that. And instead, you now have a queen of clubs. Ooh. Now, queens are dangerous. Queens are the dread card. Queens are the sort of horror surge problem. But it also is a high card, and you can really, it's almost a guarantee that's the highest card there is. So, Urrek, with your 9, having overheard that very well with your jack, you're kind of 11 to like a 9, you know that a stone golem, you are no expert in the magical ways. You're just like you're kind of like a just a man at arms here to help your lady, this strange lady, this elven woman. Are either of you elves, or are you both humans, by the way? Cool either way.
I'm gonna say Urrik's a human.
An elf.
Spellington.
That makes sense.
As I asked, I knew you were.
I'm gonna say Urrek, having heard that,
Yeah.
he's walking in very calm, powerful strides.
Mm-hmm.
He moves up next to his mistress and whispers in her ear, "Milady,
Yes.
these creatures of the night, I hear them whispering about a stone golem. I suggest we be on our toes. Keep Spellington close. Don't let him cause mischief."
Yes, well, that is your responsibility.
Of course, milady.
I will remind you, he is an incredibly valuable asset to us. However, this stone golem that you have heard of, have you heard his description? Is he merely a golem, or is he a man? Is he fortified? Is he truly made of stone?
Forgive me, my lady. I could not glean that much.
I will say though, Urrek, because you had such high stuff, you definitely surmise there's something special about the stone golem.
But if I could use my wit and follow my heart, I would say there's something special about this golem they talk about.
She'll grab his shoulder and say, "I appreciate you. Let's move forth."
And he goes back in stride behind her.
Understood. As you guys walk, you come to the room that Mesky Kick6 is leading you to. Dracula is in the lead, but upon sort of reaching there, he had a very
Wait, he's in the lead?
No, he's walking a little ahead of you behind her.
Oh, okay.
But upon reaching that point, he sort of looks back and turns to you, and with a sort of flourish of his red-lined cape, his black cape with red on the inside, because he's Dracula, he kind of pauses and says, "After you, my dear." Very gallant.
Thank you. How old does he look?
40.
And Elwyn is...
I mean, you're an elf, so you're probably like 200, but...
Does she get a sense that he's, like, immortal like her?
Detect vibe! And you already have a thing on it.
Yeah. So I will use my... Oh, wait, what did my 4 of clubs get replaced with?
A 6 of hearts, maybe? You don't have any clubs left.
Replace it. Oh, wait.
That's your hand.
I'll use my 8 of clubs.
Your 8 of hearts. It's an 8 of spades.
Oh, clubs are the 3. I'm
Guys,
sorry. No,
Alvin,
I
we'll
can't
get to you
use-
so soon, don't you worry.
No, I can't use that.
You can.
Provide them.
In this case, all it means is you'll only have 4 cards left in your hand. You won't replace it. It doesn't. Sometimes you need to match suit to even succeed, but most of the time it just means you won't replenish your hand.
Okay, I'll use the 8.
Okay, or you could draw. Moses drew so good last time.
Okay, fine.
That was pretty fun.
Let's just
draw.
draw.
I'll
Let's just
draw.
draw. Ready? You might draw a club.
Well,
Queen. Fuck.
You draw the 8 of diamonds, so that means you keep your hand as is, but you have 2 in detect vibe, so it's a 10.
okay.
The
Oh,
vibe. See?
no matter what the suit is, it's still.
Yeah.
Oh.
If
Yeah.
you match suit, you get to replenish your hand or cycle out a lower card you don't want. Or
Okay.
or if it's the suit, or if this, and then sometimes you do need it to be the suit.
Okay.
Cool. But an 8
Very
is
fair. Very
a
fair.
10 is great. You guys will pick this up. The system's I
kinda
like
like it.
this system. It's fun. So as I think this one is one that really suffers from us not being together in person because it's like I can't just deal you a card. So
Yes.
I'm sorry, guys.
your vibe of this man Dracula is that he is. You heard her say he's a vampire. Elwyn, I think that you, given your sort of like righteous magic and all this stuff, you know what vampires are.
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar. You're familiar.
And
with them.
are they? So here's a question: are they the same in both realms? Like as Medina, for instance, understands them, and as Elwyn understands them.
Yes,
Like there's
they are the
similar-
ones you're familiar with are not the ones that Sarah Quill is, but you know more traditional vampires. Although
Okay.
your knowledge of vampires is maybe less of like, he seems dressed oddly. Your vampires are going to be more like medieval sort of kind of like things, and also I'll even say you probably don't know of a vampire who is this well dressed and this fancy. Most vampires are kind of like feral things.
And are elves in this world like
Long
not
lived.
cooperators, but are they like friends with vampires, or do they just kind
They're
of keep?
no, you would not care for vampires specifically, but you wouldn't have specific animosity towards them. But
Okay.
this one seems highly intelligent and fancy, and you're kind of confused, honestly.
Okay.
That he's a vampire, but your vibe from him is that he is like, I think with a 10, you have a sense of like, okay, so like it's almost like, okay, never met a hot vampire before. That's the difference.
Oh.
In your world, they're not hot. In your world, they're like blood-faced monsters who crawl out of they're not sexy there's no like aristocratic vampire like this guy. They're like
Okay. So she's like, oh, this one has manners. Okay,
Yes.
interesting. Okay.
Yes, literally manners. Please, after you, my lady. He also seems highly confident. I'll tell you that. He seemed to walk in here no problem. Liches typically are going to treat vampires like garbage, but this one he's like, hey, come on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Thank you, sir. And she'll proceed.
Dracula stops for a moment as Urrek and Spellington are there, but then a gentleman, even to these sort of lower class people, he'll say, and let you guys enter before him as well, staying with your lady. He probably gets how stuff how stuff is.
Thank you, sir.
You all enter a chamber. He likes that. He smiles and says, oh, perhaps I could have some fun with this one. With all of them. No, I'm here on business. So as you all enter, you see that you are in a well-appointed sort of waiting chamber. There's a big window on one side looking over at the blighted lands out there. There's a lot of horrifying artwork of dance macabres and all sorts of stuff like that. Sitting in this room is a woman who appears to be all smoke, wearing like traveling clothing that looks somewhat her clothes became this worldly because she came in here through the Gate of Blood. So yeah, so there's a woman in like traveling clothes, but she's made of smoke. You can't see her face. It's some strange illusion. Elwyn, you've never seen anything like it. But she's kind of sitting off to the side and being uncharacteristically quiet tonight. But sitting, what does attract your attention is the 12-foot tall statue of like a man who has very strange clothing, who does like turn and look at you all when you enter. And here we have Alvin Theodore. Apologies for the delayed intro to the system as they arrived, Alvin.
I was vibing.
I'll, as we see him, I'll lean up to Ellen and say, "My lady, I believe we have found him."
You are very observant, Sir Spellington. I appreciate your service. And she'll tap his shoulder and push him down to bow. And I will bow, though not as lowly as I will force him to.
So it looks like Elwyn...
And I'll gesture to Urrek to bow as well, which I'm...
Elwyn, Urrek, and Spellington all bow to you, Alvin. There is another man has come in who looks just like Count Dracula from the movies. And he kind of comes in and sees you, and seeing them bowing kind of cocks his head in uncertainty, and then looks at you and gives you he doesn't give you like a formal sweeping bow, but he gives you a very respectful like nod, like hello. Mesky Kixik says, "Yes, this is the Lady Elwyn and her servants, Urrek and Spellington, as well as the Count Dracula. This is the Lady Hattie Ford and Lord Alvin Theodore. Please enjoy our hospitality. I have forgot that he will see you all soon, I'm sure." And she sort of steps back.
I forgive me for speaking out of turn, Sir Alvin Theodore. However, I was hoping for a private council with you.
I'm no sir.
What is your preferred name?
Alvin.
Alvin.
Alvin. I feel I've heard this name.
And she'll hold her hand up to Dracula behind her and say, "I'm Elwyn."
Good to meet you.
My lady,
And she'll
if you
turn to
wished
Dracula.
for a private conversation with Mr. Theodore, I am more than
Alvin.
happy to...
As he has requested.
Forgive me, Alvin. I am more than happy to make myself scarce so that you may speak to him in private. I am most comfortable with this.
Yes, it would be much appreciated, and if he has time,
Shall I
he
ask
can have an
know.
audience with you.
Do you wish for everyone else to leave as well, or shall I go off on my own? I am comfortable either way. He looks to Urrek and Spellington and also to Miss
My
Ford.
footmen are incredibly trusted.
I see.
Otherwise, I would not have them with me.
Well, Mr. Alvin, perhaps I will make your acquaintance at a later time. Until then, I bid you all adieu. And he walks out of the room.
Alvin. Here's a question. Does she knows she has to seek a stone man. Does she know why? At all?
Well, yes. Perfect opportunity for some draws. You know that in Dream, you have felt the need to come to this place and seek a man of sort of stone.
Actually, don't tell me anymore. That's all I need to know.
Okay. Great.
Alvin, I appreciate you seeing me, in confidence. I had a dream in which the only person who could help me was a man of stone. And this vision, so to speak, led me here, to you. I am here.
No, continue.
Thank you. I'm here to avenge one I love. And in my dream, it was foretold that you were the only one who could assist me in eliminating the person who took the one I love from me.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. To me, dreams don't mean much. And I'm not much help for anyone, even myself.
You'll forgive me, Alvin.
You're forgiven.
Your stature, your very being, is incredibly powerful. It has drawn us here, and she'll gesture to her men. There is something about you that is special and specific. Specific to my goals. And I don't know how to ask you this, but I would like your assistance. Are you familiar with the Lich Queen?
I don't know what I'm familiar with. There's a bunch of people with funny names here, and they're hard to pronounce, but what do you want me to do? Not that I will do it.
Elwyn, at this time, I know that you wanted to know no more, but I think there are some mechanical things that are going on. Here's your hand. Here's your hand at present. Okay? I would like for you to make an analyze roll so that now that you're meeting him, you might think, magically speaking, what a good thing is. Unless, I mean, if you have plans and such, you can bring them up. But if you're thinking just like mechanically speaking, analyze, you can put some points into it ahead of time. It is diamonds, and you do have a jack o' diamonds.
I would like to, I would like to add, she is analytical. I'm going to add 5.
Wow. All right, I will deduct that from your total. You have 19
Go big or
points
go
remaining.
home or die.
All right, and so now that you've done that, I assume you're gonna draw?
I will use my jack.
I thought you would use your jack. So with a 16, with incredible fortitude, you also get another card in response. A 10 of spades. You have a lot of spades right now.
Okay.
That's your current hand.
Well, if I get in a fight, I'm good to go.
You are, yes. You can even bring in like a queen bomb at the end to just, yeah. So, meeting Alvin Theodore, you think that perhaps a highly intelligent stone golem such as he might be immune to the life-death powers that the Lich Queen would have. A construct is easy to control, but a man inside a construct who is firmly in there and isn't just, like, possessing it like a ghost. Because if he were a ghost, the Lich Queen would do it, but, like, clearly something special. So you are suspecting that the reason you've been sent to him, and now that you speak to him, he clearly has such, like, specific, you know, opinion and stuff. Something is up with him. So,
so she senses that this is getting better and better for her.
This is, you weren't exactly sure what you were looking for, but now that you're here, you're like, I get what, yes, this guy probably can do some shenanigans for me.
Okay, this is not something that my kind take lightly, vengeance. And I will admit a weakness when it comes to the Lich Queen, but someone like you can resist her powers. You are formidable against her, and to have someone like you would help me immensely. And I don't know what I can offer, but if you have a request, I can see what I can do to see that through. But I am imploring you for your help, your assistance against the Lich Queen.
There was a time where I thought that getting rid of people that we're doing wrong on this earth was a good thing, but I'm not so sure anymore. I feel like I might have played the wrong part. Why? What do you... It may not be...
In truth, if I may be blunt, I'm haunted by the loss of the person I love. And it was at her hand, and I cannot sleep. I cannot eat. I have wandered perilously into the I'm lost without my nothing in this world. Knowing that the person that took them from... And I don't know if you have felt that. I don't know if you have felt what it's like to have your entire heart ripped from you. I do.
Let me stop you there. That makes two of us. But the thing is, the person I cared about died at my own hand. And if I get involved, it may not turn out the way you think it should.
I'm willing to take that risk.
What's in it for me?
Schadenfreude?
It's not enough.
What do you want?
I don't want to be this.
Does Elwyn have any knowledge of converting back into something, or transferring life?
I will tell you what. I want you to roll an investigate, or draw and investigate, also diamonds. Although I guess it could be analyzed. It could be analyzed. It's fine. In the meantime, I need both Spellington and Urrek, now that they're hearing the stone golem. Both of you look under your green will for clubs. I should mention, by the way, I think for you guys we're keeping it the same. Technically, you can select which suit you want just for flavor, but that's kind of too complicated right now, so we're all just doing the same suits. But theoretically, you could switch it up. But for you gentlemen, I need you both to do Detect Vibe. If you would like to. So those are clubs. Dan, you've got some serious... Actually, and Moses, you have a queen of clubs, which would be a great level of success for you, but it would also be a 13, and we might trigger a Dreadstorm.
Oh boy.
Dan, you could throw out a jack or a
Putting 2 into it.
You're putting 2 into it. Great. Do you? And if you
I'm
see,
throwing heart of the cards, a jack.
heart of the cards, a jack. Well, if you've put 2 into it, that gets you to 13. And if you see there is a under the notes thing under the power stuff, that's your running total of how many talent points you have. So deduct them from there. Urrek?
I'll use my...
Use the queen. Come on.
Why not? Let's do it.
All right. So, queen. So with dread success. Dan, you have an ace of spades. The ace of spades! Moses, you have an ace of hearts.
Oh.
Fun. Both of you, with your successes. Oh, but except Moses doesn't have D13, so I'm just gonna roll this one. Come on. Let's get a horror surge. That would be bad.
Do
It was, and then it rolled off of my keyboard. It was so pretty. It was just hovering there like, I believe in you. I believe in darkness. And then it was like,
I did my best, Phil. I did my best.
So close. Thank you. Well, in any case, 5. Lovely. Both of you with those rolls have a strong sense that the appeals that Elwyn is making are perhaps not going to sway this man. I think that both of you, with the very high roll, the very high draws, I keep saying rolls, but they're draws in this game, very high draws you've done, indicate he's not from around here and he probably has a very different worldview. So you may wish to counsel her to maybe focus, on like he keeps saying like, what will you do for me? What's in it for me? He doesn't care about blood feuds. He says they're not working. So you both have a clear sense that it's not working. So you guys can kind of like pull her aside and talk to her. In the meantime, Elwyn, you are going to make an analyze roll. This is your current hand. Analyze, of course, uses diamonds, of which you have none. Would you like to draw, or would you like to use one of these cards? You could also...
So if I use a card...
Yeah.
What does it do? It adds to the number?
Yeah, whatever the card value is your number, and then you get to add your modifier. So you get to add 5.
Even if it's not the same suit.
Yes, the only thing the same suit matters is if you get to replace your hand.
Oh, okay. So I will use the what is the success in the system?
It's not super far off of D&D. It's just maybe a little bit like lower stuff. You're on a scale from like under 5's not great. Getting around 10 is beginning to be okay. Over 10 is pretty good kind of vibe.
Okay. Let me see. I will.
But you can also draw.
No, I'll use the 10.
The 10
for analyze.
10. Analyze. Now, if you really cared about getting another card here, you could spend 5 of your power to turn this into a diamond, but you don't need to do that there. Okay, great. So 10 is out.
No.
With a 15 in analyze, he was describing how he wants to, he wants to not be this way. I will simply say it like this. The power to put a soul into a thing like this, where it's not a simple ghostly possession, it's like in there and somehow shielded, that takes tremendous power, and you know why he's seeing Ire of Orgazity now. He has come here to fix that problem. Ire of Orgazity could do that. Ire of Orgazity could get him out of this body. But
and Ire of Orgazity is the Lich.
Is the Lich ruler of this tower, but not the Lich Queen of the whole land.
Oh.
Yes.
But do I know if you defeat a Lich Queen, does it weaken the power of Ire of Orgazity?
It will not do nothing. So again, you well know, as a spellcaster of this place, that the Lich Queen Visibadiroth here in the Valley of Badiroth is madly in love with Ire of Orgazity, who despises her. He's in love with Shta-Suth, who despises him. They're in love with a queen who despises them. It's complicated. So you know that Ire of Orgazity would love to help, would be happy to have your assistance in going after the queen, because Ire of Orgazity hates the queen. This Alvin Theodore, basically, what Alvin Theodore is asking for Ire of Orgazity is what you do not want Ire of Orgazity to give Alvin Theodore. What Alvin Theodore wants.
But I need Alvin Theodore to...
I need to write this down. I need to write this down.
I mean, this is Ignador. It is complex, convoluted, dark magical stuff, with Spellington and Urrek being the sort of eyes of sanity. And
Are you guys wanting to counsel me?
Yes, my lady.
Oh.
Please, may we counsel you? My lady.
Alvin, if I may.
Very well.
Thank you. Yes.
You may need to take a tack that is more... What can you do for him?
My lady, this creature is possibly not from this world. He speaks in a strange manner.
Yes.
Everyone has desires. If you can ascertain what his are, perhaps you might be more successful, my lady.
Well, he just said that he doesn't wish to be the way that he is, so...
But I do know that the top list get him to not be the way that he is.
Ire Vergazity
Right?
could probably do it. It would be hard, but he could probably find a way.
Okay. But he doesn't know that killing the Lich Queen wouldn't get him what he wants. And but if we were able to get to the Lich Queen and kill her, I would pledge myself to help his cause. But we might have to bend the facts. Do you understand?
My lady, your passions are strong, your intentions are pure. Tricking one stone man, I don't think will hurt your soul too much.
Oh, that's amazing.
My soul is wounded beyond repair. So we go along with this. And you agree? Spellington?
Yes, my lady.
Okay. Alvin,
Yes?
you do not wish to remain as you are. I understand. I feel the same. I am forever tortured by what happened to me, and my light is fading. I can see that in you.
There is
And-
no light.
Yes. There is a way to free you. However, the person who can help you free your soul from this body must be weakened. And incidentally, in order to weaken them, we must kill the Lich Queen. It will take some doing. And beyond killing her, there is still much to do, but myself and my men pledge ourselves to you and your journey if you help us kill her.
Can Alvin do a vibe check?
Alvin. So, here's the deal. Because Alvin, if memory serves, is in
Is it a different
D&D.
system?
So for you, it is called an insight check, and you have a
Yes.
+4 to it. So please go for it. Cross-system play.
Can I just say,
Mhm.
she will, like, if they kill the Lich Queen, she will help him
You don't.
if she makes it.
No one's accusing you of anything. You don't have to justify yourself. Don't undercut
I'm
your
just
great
saying.
role playing.
18.
18. In this case, this will be a rare kind of go to a thing. There's a minor shift to the thing, so even if her number's a little below yours, she might win this. Lauren,
Yes.
I understand that you are claiming that you are not being deceptive in this. However, there is some degree of
She
deceit
is,
to what
but-
you're doing. So
Yes.
look under your beautiful clubs. I need you to make a deceive in clubs. You have no clubs in your hand, however. Now you could throw down.
Can I add 3?
You may absolutely add 3. 3 to deceive.
And I would like to draw.
Oh, shit. Shit, you guys. She's gonna draw. That's fucking cool. Oh, that's metal as hell. She's adding 3. Oh, she's only got 6 left. All right. This is a big draw. So if I were you, I'd be prepared to put some stuff on top of this.
Okay.
A 1.
Oh, shit, fuck.
But you do draw another card because you did it. It's a 3 of spades, so it's nonsense. So you have just done this. You've rolled a 1, which means you currently have a 4. But if you'd like to, You could spend 5 of your precious power. Basically, imagine it's like the way I think of power is it's like, imagine it's like 5 hours worth of like mental focus and like energy and stamina all put into one roll. You could spend 5 and put another card on top of this. In fact, you could technically do that twice and be left with 3 power, which would be even more metal.
My lady, I think you should do it.
I'll spend 5.
You'll spend 5, and you will add to it the Queen of Hearts. Roll a d13.
Oh! Ooh.
Roll a 13. Roll a 13. Roll a 13. You can do it. I believe in you.
Oh, no, it fell off.
Damn. Well, it won't happen now.
10.
10. All right. 2 from Lauren. We're at 6. I love it. Guys, lot of D13s up there tonight. We're really adding it up.
Baby.
So, 13 plus 1 plus 3. 17, huh?
Mm-hmm.
17 is an extremely high roll. Or an extremely high draw.
Okay.
And even though you have spent... Like, I'm imagining that for one such as Elowen, like, that deception that she's crafting here is, like... Now, Alvin, I know that mechanically you rolled an 18, but in your system, an 18 is lower than a 17 is in this system. It's towards the cusp. So, Alvin, I will say just for your own roleplay and knowledge, you don't, like, fully... you don't have to, like, fully trust her. You're not being totally taken in. You're not, you know, you're... But... You have a sense that she is. You have a sense that there is truth in what she's saying, and whatever it is, and I'll even say an unspoken part of it, whatever it is, or maybe we'll say Elowen weaved a bit of this in. Whatever Ira Vorgazity's plan would be, you suspect hers will be, she's using you, but she probably won't be as destructive to you as he might. Whatever his plans are, they might be. I mean, you can tell he's evil and wants to use you for something. She's just hurt and wants to use you for something.
So, she killed your true love?
Yes.
Doesn't feel good. I had a friend that I lost.
It's a pain that no one should experience.
It adds to the depth of the soul, however. I'll help you.
I'm forever in your debt.
I don't need any. Just not to be this.
I will help you. If you help me.
And she'll do a whatever elf thing.
A little elf bow type thing. I love it. Great. Urrek and Spellington, I think you guys maybe exchange a look of like, oh no. God, what great characters are... I mean, obviously, Elowen's a really fun character, but Urrek and Spellington, right? Where'd these guys come from? I like how they're different, but they see... I really get their vibe. Like, Spellington's the one who's like, let me make your dinner, ma'am. And Urrek's like, let me make sure there's no one on the horizon. Yeah, cool. In any case, we are now going to cut away from this. I hope you guys enjoyed the Deck of Dread system. I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I like it. It's very
interesting.
Yeah.
You have this like
I
strategy.
think I,
yeah.
totally get it.
There is one little thing that was going to happen though. So I am now discarding Urrek's hand. I'm discarding Dan's hand.
Oh no.
And I'm discarding Lauren's hand. But wait,
Off.
what is this? We're discarding a queen. If we're in the middle of a game, that means an automatic horror surge, but now it is simply a 13. If you ever discard a queen, it's a horror surge. But for now, it is merely a 13. Could you roll a d13 for me?
Me?
But yeah, we're discarding from your hand.
I didn't consent to this.
You consented when you started playing.
Fuck
Sign
off.
the waiver.
12.
12. Right.
I'm in.
Love it. All right. Now, speaking of 13s, it is 9:30. I know that we're late for the day. I don't know that we'll be visiting a third place today. We have a really interesting sort of like thing here, but we have to roll something else. I need Dan and Zane to roll D13s for me.
Absolutely.
My boys, my sweet boys.
We haven't gotten a horror stories today, have we?
Nick.
Oh.
6 and 4. A 6 and 4. It's not high enough of an average for Dracula to be immediately successful in his goals here. Unless, of course, you guys would like to
Make a
try
deal.
and
Let's
roll
make a
again.
deal, baby.
No!
You want to roll again?
I'll never forgive you.
You'll never forgive me for so many things. Let's make a deal. I'll take the deal. What's the deal?
Ah!
I accept. What's the deal?
I will let you both re-roll your D13s, but we're going to advance this clock by the lower roll that either of you make.
Yes. Zane? Yeah, I see Zane rolling. I see
Yeah, baby, we're rolling.
4.
Okay.
Well, it's a bummer, more in the sense
Little
that
bit.
the clock is at 9 now, but that means that Dracula has not succeeded right now. Doesn't mean he can't next time, but we're not ending with the rebirth of any characters. Whatever Dracula has found here, perhaps Dracula hasn't even made it to Friedrich, perhaps he's doing stuff. I guess in that case, I should say that at the end of that sort of scene between Alvin, Urrek, Spellington, and Elowen, Hattie probably just goes, "Oh, okay, so wait, what are we doing, Alvin? What did you just agree to?" But with that is where we're going to end tonight's game. Dan, thanks for coming back. I'm sorry you weren't in the first half of it.
Fine.
But then we got Spellington, so all is well. All is Wellington.
Wait, so what are we doing next week?
This is his master plan.
Oh, God.
He's gonna tell us?
I will not tell you, but I will say I'm elevating this to an active possibility. I was thinking that we would not have this be an active thing that would be going on, but the fact that Dracula is here means this is an active thing. It may not be what
Roll
happens.
for that, by the way.
We're going to roll for what we do next week. Would you like to do
No,
that now
you-
so you know, or should we do it at the beginning of next week?
Yes.
Wanna do it now?
I might want to dress up, so yes.
Okay, great. This one's active. Emma Vella, Stiltcutter, and Fletch, that's gone.
Yeah. R.I.P.
How do you know the thing's active?
BFFs.
I'm going to say
what
that
is, what's the peddler up to?
the peddler, I understand what you're saying, but because Liv won't be here next week, Liv's traveling right now. Because Liv won't be here next week, we're not going to do, that won't happen in this one. I'm sorry. What Bradley's fate will wait for a later date. I'll tell you what. We're gonna take this real chill. This is gonna be high stakes. There's really only two options that make a ton of sense to me, because we're not gonna do the Medina Everett stuff. It's been a while since we checked in with Medina and Everett in the boxer, but we'll hold off of this. Yeah, that's the stuff. And obviously we have Buster and Darius and Oksana are still out there trying to be vampires, but realistically they're all gonna get to Darkmoor, so that may be a thing. So basically,
Yeah.
I would say that at this point, our two major options are either Darkmoor campus, where Sarah Quill is getting cuck-queened by Wednesday and Dracula, and or it is here in Ignador. So, with that in mind, who would like to roll this? Zane. Zane, would you roll this for me?
What am I rolling?
You're rolling
D13?
sweet D13. I'm going to tell you right now. that I'll sort of let everybody know. Half of the numbers or just under half of the numbers on the dice, mean we're going to be sort of starting next week at least, and possibly doing much of what we're doing here in Ignador, in Dread Ignador. The other half of the numbers mean we'll be starting at Darkmoor. But one number on the die.
Oh no.
Is the chaos option.
Okay. Roll it.
Please.
Zane, if you roll a 13, I would be so happy.
I really hope I do.
Did you roll a 13?
No.
I rolled a 13.
Because we are brothers. We are fucking brothers. We are twins.
Yeah, baby. Yes.
Chaos.
Chaos.
Scared, so we won't know.
No.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
It's gonna be something crazy.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's thinking right now. He's like,
No, I know. I know what.
Does that advance the
Oh,
clock?
I know what it should be, you dummies! Oh, shit!
Does that advance the clock?
dummies,
What's that?
idiots.
Does that advance the clock?
It did. I just advanced the clock.
Okay.
Don't even roll the 13 to see. We're not going to do a horror search off that, but that advanced the clock. So we're at 10. All right. All of you had at least one. And Lauren had
That was
3.
beautiful.
But it's because of
That was
discards.
beautiful.
All right.
That was amazing.
Can you roll another one? Zane, roll just another one for me real quick. I'm not sure what this is about. This is less about the thing and more about a different thing. Okay, hold on.
2.
Okay.
That was the best part of my day.
Okay. Next week's game. This is the problem of what we're doing here, which is despite how many goddamn open threads are going on, we're starting another one next week.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And that thread, my dear friends, for the first time, well,
Okay.
I should rephrase that. For the first explicit time, next week's game will take place in the Proto-Main. So, we'll see you all then. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what we do, please follow our Discord to interact with us. Go to our YouTube to see our old episodes. Go to our wiki to see all the cool stuff that is available there that Sophia and everyone have been putting together. We have other games on this channel. On Sunday, we're back with Here Be Dragons at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. On Monday, we're back with Theme Party, where the theme is chaos and the party is adventuring Legos.
Wait, I'm sorry. Never mind.
Can I help you?
I was gonna say, wasn't this Sunday Here Be Dragons and next will be...
Yeah, this coming Sunday's Here Be Dragons. Is that not what I said?
No, it is, but I don't know time.
That's fair. So that's Monday, Theme Party, Lego game. Wednesday. Hey Dan, what's Wednesday? Do you know?
I don't know. What? Oh yeah, it's one of the first characters fuck up episodes.
We are finally, after kind of a couple of delayed weeks, we are starting Lost Lore Academia once again, where we'll be introducing Armament, not as a character, or also, it's also possible we'll introduce Armament both as a summoned character and a character. So come and check that out. Going to be a lot of fun on that. And then one week from tonight.
So have Philip make fun of you.
Guys,
Why?
1 week from tonight,
Flowers.
on October, Friday the 13th, join us for the 9th cycle of 13 episodes as we bring that to a close. We've done 9 cycles of 13.
Gosh.
Episode 117, where we will be, because we didn't have enough compelling things, we're going to the Proto-Main. But what is the Proto-Main?
Okay.
Very
Wait, people
interesting.
know what that is?
No,
Can I
we'll
take
be.
my hot dog costume out again?
No, I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. I'll talk to you guys about your characters for this ahead of time.
Okay.
Great.
Because I am so tiny and so petite that I can buy like any costume that like
A dog costume.
Yeah. My dog is huge though.
Proto Main's gonna be crazy. Thanks for rolling a 13. Honestly, part of me is like, I'm glad you rolled a 13. Others would have been good because it would have been like progress on this fucking game, but 13's great too. Thank you all. This was very fun. I appreciate what we've done here. Please follow all these wonderful people on their socials. They all do really cool stuff. They're on their about pages, or let me rephrase. At times in the past, they've done cool stuff. I cannot speak to what they're doing now. Whether you like trees, dancing, playing old Sega games or Game Boy Advance games, or newer games about horror jump scares. There's lots of cool stuff going on. Do we have anyone to thank, by the way?
We do, absolutely. So we have we started off the evening with someone named Steinbergler resubscribing for 28 months.
I think we should ban them.
That's a lot of months. And then Book and Dagger has actually been subscribed for 2 more months at 30 months. So beating us all out. And then we had a hype train that started in our channel this evening.
Oh,
and
hi,
cheered
hype train.
75.
Thanks.
We had Steinbergler cheering 100. Gallinorian Saber, 1 month to tier 1 sub, gifted to Jason Charles Miller this evening. Gallinorian Saber, thank you so much for the gift. Then we had a hype train that happened. This play-by-play. Steinbergler threw in another 100 bits. We hit a level 2 hype train. It was wild. And then I actually have to say, this is my 26th month subscribing, so it's a multiple of 13 as well. I just wanted to share that with you all. And then Unique Beast, one Unique Beast followed this evening. Thank you so much for the follow, and thank you so much for just everybody chatting and all the fun. The engagement is to be able to watch and participate.
For at least 10 years, this is the only engagement I'm gonna have.
Until he finds a 21-year-old. I'm kidding.
Lord.
No.
Good Lord.
Lauren, that is uncouth of you.
Because, Lauren, do you understand that what you just said is that person's 11 right now?
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm
not
sicko?
Leo.
What's
I'm
wrong
not
with you?
DiCaprio.
I'm bad at math. Oh, God.
I gotta go take a shower now.
Oh, that's terrible. I just want to say that Dan did not say that, and that's not the case.
No,
And
I was gonna get in 10 years. I'm gonna be engaged to someone who's in a very appropriate age, like 33.
I mean, she's 23 now. That's so fucking hot. All right.
Right now. Poor.
Okay.
Wild little turn of events. This is great.
Well, that was horrible that I said any of the things I said.
sorry.
But Lauren still said the worst part. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. This has been a blast. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys next week for Friday the 13th, the 9th, 117, for the first time coming to you from
Our respective houses.
The Proto Main. Until
The
then,
Proto-Main.
Proto Main, Dodo Main. Everybody, thank you for watching. Until then, have a dreadful night.